Have you ever heard the expression, don't drink and drive? Has this ever mattered to you, or was it simply just a saying that you heard throughout your days, throughout your life? Did you ever really think about this saying, or if it even mattered or applied to you? I have heard many public speakers, police officers, teachers, and adults say this to me as a teenager, even as adult. I hear it very often, especially when the weekends come by. And when I was younger, I never thought too much of it. I have friends, coworkers, family members who, and even to their adult lives, don't think too much about this saying. My friends and I had never thought too much about drinking and driving or the dangers of it. As a teenager, my friends and I mostly focused on outdoor activities, having fun with each other, sleepovers, pretty innocent, fun things most teenagers would be into. When I was 16 years old, my friend was killed by a drunk driver. We were crossing the street, and unfortunately, this driver did not see her and hit her as he was driving down the road. Ever since my poor friend was killed, I have made sure to always pass this message on to everyone that I know. Surprisingly, I came across many adults who try to get behind the wheel while they're heavily intoxicated, and I think this is very scary. Although I try not to force people to do things that they don't want to do, I try to make it open and tell others, if you're drinking too much, don't drive. If you feel like you're not okay to drive, then don't drive. So many people think that they are okay to drive after having a few drinks. But how many drinks is too many? What would be the worst thing that could happen if you were to drive while intoxicated? You may think it's not a big deal, right? Well, I'm going to explain to each and every one of you just how dangerous of a game it is to drive while intoxicated and the risks that you take and put others in when you get behind the wheel. Now, I am not against having a few drinks after a long week or to celebrate friends and family or holidays. I love to go out and have a few drinks with my family, and we love to drink alcohol to celebrate special occasions and events. My family members will never drink and drive because they all know how much my friend's death affected me as a teenager. We all make sure to have a designated driver or an Uber to pick us up. There are many consequences to driving while intoxicated. One of the consequences would be getting arrested and being charged with a DUI. With your first DUI offense, you could deal with the loss of full driving privileges for a minimum of 2 years, possible imprisonment for up to 1 year, and a maximum fine of about $2,500. On top of that, you would be receiving about 100 hours of community service. Driving under the age of 21 represents 10% of licensed drivers, but are involved in 17% of alcohol-related fatal crashes. If you are arrested for a DUI, you will be handcuffed and taken to jail. What will your parents say when you call home and tell them that you're in jail? What will your boss say when you call your job and tell them that you've been arrested for driving under the influence? Illinois' DUI laws for drivers under 21 years of age are tough and will affect your life for many years. You risk hurting yourself and other innocent drivers when you drive while intoxicated. Crashes are a leading cause of death for teens. Nationally, 6 individuals between the ages of 15 to 20 die in a motor vehicle crash every single day. About 2 in 5 Americans will be involved in an alcohol-related crash at some point in their lives. Because alcohol affects judgment, people who drive after drinking may feel confident and not recognize that their driving skills are reduced. Their driving is more likely to be careless and reckless. When a driver is driving while intoxicated, they are at risk of weaving, speeding, and driving off the road, and too often crashing. It does not take much to make you feel intoxicated, and driving intoxicated comes with many risks and consequences. Most men with minimal to no tolerance will begin to exhibit some characteristics of intoxication when their BAC reaches 0.05%, and their ability to drive will be significantly impaired at 0.07%. At 0.10%, they will be clearly intoxicated. A woman who weighs about 150 pounds will reach a BAC at 0.1% if she consumes about 4 drinks in an hour. That's a very low amount of drinks, honestly, to become intoxicated. One person can easily drink 4 to 5 drinks in an hour if they're dancing, talking. They don't even notice how much they're drinking and then feel that you're okay to drive. BAC stands for blood alcohol concentration. Many of us love to celebrate an important event or holiday with a few drinks, but it's best to drink responsibly. There are many options to help keep yourself and your loved ones safe when you are drinking. There are many options of having a designated driver available with you, or ordering a taxi or an Uber to drive you where you need to go. Our minds are reacting differently when we are drinking while intoxicated. When my friend was hit by a drunk driver, the boy that had hit her had stated that he didn't even feel that he drank that much. He stated that he only had a few drinks and thought he was okay to drive a block away in order to get to another party that he was invited to. Surprisingly, this boy and his friends were on the way to the same party that we were walking to. He stated that he felt that he was perfectly fine, and he never felt it when he hit my friend when she was crossing the road. He hit her and kept driving. When the police found him and arrested him, he had no idea he had hit anyone on his way to this party. When we choose to get behind the wheel while intoxicated, our vision and thought process changes drastically. Oftentimes, people think they are driving perfectly fine, when in reality, they could be swerving, running red lights, and putting other people at risk that are on the road. Alcohol blurs our vision and slows our thought process, especially when we are driving. Driving under the influence is both dangerous and irresponsible. Having fun when your friends and family with a few drinks is always fun to celebrate, but you are putting yourself and others at risk when you get behind the wheel while drunk. These days, there are so many options to getting home safely. There are taxis running all day and all night, also Uber and Lyft, and simply making sure you have a designated driver with you. Losing my friend at such a young age because she was killed by a drunk driver has been something that I could never forget. Because of the carelessness of another person, my friend's life was cut short. Monica's death affected an entire community and made us all think very differently for the rest of our lives. I never drive when I know that I will be drinking alcohol because I never want to put myself or someone else in danger. I could never live with myself knowing that I hurt someone else because I chose to get behind the wheel while intoxicated. I hope that my speech made you all think differently the next time you decide to go out and get a few drinks, just to make sure that you stay safe and you keep others safe. Your actions make all the difference in the world and in someone else's lives. Thank you.